nobody went ahead on game day morning and mulliganed to any of the teams that are on this list.
None of the second-tier teams.
What do I mean by this? On NFL game day morning, Mooch, Irv, our first-hour guest Kurt Warner, and I choose before the season our Super Bowl picks.
Right.
I chose Saints over Patriots. The other guys chose the Chiefs versus another form of an NFC team. Not named the 49ers and not named the Seahawks. I don't think anyone had the Saints either. I think there might have been a Cowboy in there from Irvin. And then on Thanksgiving, we're allowed by our producers 12 weeks into the season to mulligan. So Kurt Warner had this to say about the New England Patriots offense and what he saw out of them against the Houston Texans this past Sunday. This was hour one.
The Patriots offense is just a mess right now. And I know the narrative has been thrown out there that, oh, nobody's open. Well, I disagree with that. I went back and watched the film, and I thought there was a lot of guys open. And now everybody wants to say, well, that means that it's all Tom Brady. No, it's not all Tom Brady, but there is some blame to go to Tom Brady. He's used to scheming guys open. He's used to being able to look at Gronk out there, and even if Gronk's somewhat covered, say, I can still throw it to Gronk. He's been used to kind of jamming it in sometimes to his number one read with good players, and right now they don't have those kind of players, and I think that's what's throwing their offense off right now.
Brady wound up with 320-some-odd yards passing, by the way. Edelman with a 100-yard game. Those were, you could say, maybe garbage yards late on that last drive. I heard that, and it made me rethink maybe I should have mulliganed out of the Patriots to go to the Ravens. You know how high I am on the Ravens. When it just comes down to it, though, rubber's meeting the road. Patriots in the playoffs. You got to go to their building week 2 of the playoffs. At this point in time, let's just say they do get the bye, because I find it hard to believe that they won't get this bye week. Bills have got to go into New England. Somebody's got to go to New England and beat him. Can it be the Chiefs this weekend? Sure. Can it be the Buffalo Bills? The Patriots are at Cincinnati and home for Miami. After that's 12 wins right there.
Yeah, 3 of the last 4 games at home.
That's 12 wins. The Buffalo Bills have, over the next couple weeks, they're home for Baltimore, they're at Pittsburgh, at New England, then home for the Jets. I mean, the Patriots are winning this division. I know how people are saying because of how poorly they looked on offense against Houston. Please. Somebody is going to have to go into New England and beat Belichick for a second time, which has happened only 7 times. And that person is either going to be Mahomes, assuming he wins this weekend, or Deshaun Watson. Do you really think that? Is that really going to happen? And then let's just say it doesn't. And New England's got to go to Baltimore again. The whole country will be talking about Lamar's in the Super Bowl. It's coming. They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to vanquish them. Same thing happened last year. That was the run-up to the AFC Championship game last year. We've seen this movie before.
And then Tom, post-game, says everybody thinks we suck and can't play.
It's only 7 times this year. I mean, this in the Brady Belichick era has a quarterback beaten them twice in the same year. It's so rare. That's why I just couldn't move off the Patriots. But I do have the Saints beating them. I do have that. And I was at least rewarded within 3 days of sticking with the Saints. The Saints have the top seed. And you look at New Orleans right now, man. New Orleans with a big one against San Francisco. They're home for a Monday nighter against Indianapolis, so I think they're going to beat up. They're at Tennessee and then finish at Carolina. That at Tennessee is going to be a good one.
Now, you said you thought about mulliganing off of New England.
I did not think about mulliganing off the Saints.
You didn't think about changing off the Saints.
Here's what I think about the Saints that makes them the team to beat in the NFC. And I know what I'm saying in the year the NFC is wide open and all of that.
Crazy wide open.
To win in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl, you need the following. You need a defense. You need a quarterback who can make a big play in a big spot. You need a quarterback who's not going to get confused by whatever defense that might be thrown at them at the last minute. You need a running game. You need a healthy offensive line, which they're kind of iffy on right now. You need a kicking game. And you need a crazy like a fox head coach who is out of you-know-whats to give and has been in that position before and is in a spot where they're nice and comfortable because they've won it before. It's kind of all lining up that way. And in the same way of what I hit with Kurt in hour one, we have not seen the Kamara can't be stopped game yet. He might just not be the same guy because of that ankle sprain, and and it just hasn't been any better. Michael Thomas is unstoppable. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him, as DP would say. But we haven't seen Kamara go off yet. I don't think we've seen the Saints at their full strength yet. How does that sound? Now, tune could be completely changed by the end of Sunday when the Saints and 49ers are done playing. By the way, that's another early window game. How about that? That's a noon kickoff. Another tough spot for the Niners, who, by the way, stayed in Florida, as our friend Emmanuel Sanders gave us a tip. So they're not back in San Francisco just yet. I like the Saints. I'm not moving off it. But the Patriots are really making me nervous. But we've been there before.
Welcome to my world.
And even if Kansas City, watch Kansas City boat races them. If only the Patriots' next game where they could move on to is Cincinnati. Oh, wait a minute. It is. I mean, it's set up. It's set up for them to even lose in a demoralizing fashion to Kansas City. Belichick is probably sitting there right now, getting set. We're moving on to Cincinnati. They could all say that at the end of Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in that Pats-Chiefs game.
Even if the expected result, which is Mahomes comes in and is able to move pieces around and Brady can't get an offensive flow going and they lose. We're moving on to Cincinnati. And guess what? The Bills have the Ravens at home. I mean, this is no joke. That's why I'm glad I still stuck with it. Would you have moved off it?
Off of New England?
Yeah.
I think so. This year just feels different. Doesn't feel like they have that championship season in them.
No, this good.
Right now.
You know what? It's a simple word. It's Gronk. There's no Gronk. He's not there.
Yeah.
He's not there. So that's why I don't think it's any surprise why we saw down the stretch to try and make that big run at the Texans. It was Edelman. It was White. That's what you're going to see.
Yep.
How is Damian Harris useless?
Where was Rex Burkhead on
by
Sunday?
the way, I'm a Sony Michel fantasy owner. Rex Burkhead is the devil to me,
here.
okay? But then he comes out, Sony gets like a 4-yard gain, 6 yard. And Sony Michel can't catch a pass? Is that it?
Right.
Like he's useless. There is
It's
no way.
Only James White.
I saw that on Sunday night, that James White in the game, 80% pass. Michel in the game, 60% run. I mean, and then White, they showed that after White gained like 40 yards on a run that they broke a tendency. But again, it's very difficult for me to sit here and criticize game planning and play calling in that spot. I just won't do it. I've been burned too many times about what they've looked like, and especially since we're all doubting them as they're playing Kansas City.
Of course.
Where the next game they move on to literally is Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's 2014 all over again, but
maybe.
You're on to Cincinnati.
It's coming. Win or lose, I hope one of them says it from the podium. Bill's got to have it in him. He's got to have it in him.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.